Do not give up on your legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's happening today? We're going to talk about which is a better option, H1B or the EB3 visa or EB2. Okay. Welcome to the show. Sorry for the delay today. I usually live earlier, but didn't get a chance to go Valentine's date lunch yesterday. So took advantage of that today. It's more of a Costco run, Costco date. So not an official lunch. How are y'all doing? Did y'all have a good Valentine's Day? All right. Well, here to answer any questions, of course. So welcome to drop it in the comment section, chat box. Good afternoon, Anthony. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in all 50 states of America and across the world, helping you solve an immigration problem and maybe prevent that problem from happening in the first place. All right. How y'all doing? How's my new look? I usually don't wear contacts. Usually I have glasses on, but my son stepped on them. So I figured I'd go back to contacts for a bit. All right. So today's topic is H1B versus EB. It could be really any EB. Okay. I know in the title I have EB3, but in general, you want to at least try H1B. If you don't have H1B right now, but maybe you have J1, you have a different non-immigrant visa, maybe you're about to graduate, you have F1 student visa status, and you're about to graduate in May. Don't be discouraged, even though the registration is in March, the first couple weeks in March. Some people think like, oh, I haven't graduated yet, but I'm going to graduate in May. Can a company still register you? Yes, they can. The other thing, folks, is that you cannot register yourself, unfortunately. A company has to register you. So even if a company is like, okay, yeah, go ahead, register yourself. That's not how it works. And so that's why we go in here. We also go on LinkedIn. So not every day. LinkedIn's every Wednesday, typically, so that these companies have a better idea. Okay. By the way, on TikTok, oh, shoot. I was supposed to hit live on the other one. Oops. There we go. Click live on Instagram. Oh, there we go. Okay, so on TikTok, can you see the screen? Like, is it saying it the correct way or is it backwards? Because it's backwards on my end, and on TikTok, it's a bit confusing. So anyway, just trying something new. But yeah, try H1B. Even if you're on a non-immigrant visa right now, and it makes sense to try, talk to your law firm. Maybe if you already have a company sponsoring you for something else, maybe it's a TM visa or something, talk with your current lawyer. Because I'm not trying to step on anyone's toes. If you already have a lawyer, talk to them first. Of course, if you don't have a lawyer, then we're here to chat. We're happy to point you in the right direction, see if H1B makes sense. Oh, great. Thanks. Thanks, Unruly, Jame, and Sam. I need to figure out that function. Still trying to figure out TikTok. All right. All right. Well, it says solving immigration problems every day. All right. I can't solve TikTok. That's funny. All right. So H1B is for folks who have a degree. Okay. Unfortunately, it's not for folks that have a job that doesn't require a degree. So, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an engineer, doesn't have to be a doctor, doesn't have to be a lawyer type position, as long as the job requires a degree. And if the degree is a bachelor's degree and it's outside the United States, that's okay. It still counts. Now, if you have a master's degree or an advanced degree, another kind of professional degree, And if it's abroad and not from the United States, that does not count. The master's degree has to be in the from the United States university or college. Okay. So hopefully you can remember that distinction. All right. Keep dropping questions in the comment section and I'll definitely get to them soon. I have about 12 minutes before I get to another meeting. Sorry, I'm a little bit late today. Had a Costco lunch date. Well, not actually lunch. Just a Costco run. Do y'all shop at Costco? It's like a weird obsession about. All right. Anyways, let me answer some questions. All right. There's so much more I could talk about H1B and EB, but some of y'all probably don't care about that. So let me move on. All right. Anthony, you got approved I-130. Congratulations. Married to a U.S. citizen. You filed the 485 at the same time. So you say just if there's no issues, if you didn't get RFE on the 485 application, then you're likely to receive the notice for 485 pretty soon. Okay. Because some people, they may receive an RFE on 485, and then after that, maybe get I-130 approval. Then, of course, the 485 is not approved, right? So you got to get the RF, since you have to respond to RFE. But for you, you got the I-130 notice first approval. More likely, you're going to get approved. Knock on wood. Okay. So that could be in 1 or 2 days. And you would think, why is it not sent the same day? Who knows? And you would think they saved some envelopes and just put it in one freaking envelope, but clearly different offices handle different things, um, or just their processes has it separated. It's ridiculous. It's super ridiculous. Kanchi, how long does I-824 take? A hell of a long time. Maybe they update it. Let me see if I can pull out the processing time schedule here. I mean, you're on TikTok, but I am curious. 824. What server center are you? If you could tell me. I'm just gonna pick the California server center, which by the way, folks, if you're wondering like, oh, I live in California, will the case be California server center? No, it has nothing to do with it. I mean, think about it because there's not even a server center for every state. So, but California server center for 824 shows 3.5 months. Okay, for 80% of cases. Now, if I just select another random one like Nebraska server center, ooh, hopefully you don't get that one. That's 80% of cases that are taking 20 months. All right. So hopefully that gives you an idea. All right. What's going on, Sabar? You're married to a U.S. citizen and your I-130 is approved and it's going to be, and 6 months have passed and we haven't heard anything from either USCIS or NVC. Can I tell you anything about that? Yeah, hell yeah, I can. They suck. And then the first thing is, but seriously, I hope you received, if you're in a situation similar to Shaber, sorry if I mispronounced your name on YouTube, you need to have the thing to expect after I-130 is approved and one of you are abroad outside the United States, you need to expect an email from the National Visa Sender. Okay. It's what we call a welcome email. I don't even remember if they actually say the word welcome anymore, but it's really telling you the next step. Okay. And the next step is the essentially filling out the form online that we call that the DS 260. Okay. But before you prepare that and answer those questions, you got to pay the fee. There's two different fees. Affidavit support is 120, and I think they call the immigrant visa fee is 325. Okay, so total 445. If my math is correct, 445 total. You gotta pay both. Now, Shaber, if you have not received that NVC case number, that email with the case number, it's a new number. It's different from the receipt number from USCIS. Okay, the NVC case number and the invoice number, that you need to email NVC as soon as possible. All right, because everyone's supposed to receive that within 3 to 5 weeks. Fortunately, they seem to be a lot faster lately after the petition's approved. Okay, YT Tops. If you didn't have an interview and you got approved for marriage case 45, will you get an interview for 751? There's no guarantee for that. First of all, I'm glad you got your marriage case approved without a interview. It was waived. But but that's no guarantee for the 751. First of all, not the rules could change, but their policy could change. All right. And who knows? Like some people, yeah, some people get approved very quote unquote easily, I suppose. Maybe they didn't have to provide as much evidence. They just got lucky in that sense. But if you want the proven, you want to do it the proven way, you got to provide sufficient evidence. Not maybe not like a whole stack. That's not required. Um, but yeah, interview. You might have an interview. You might not. I can't tell you that. That's too early to say. Policy could change from whatever's today could be tomorrow changed. It's not a guarantee because really the waivers, the interviews being waived is not. It's not a hard set rule anyway. I don't believe they have a guideline. I don't know how the hell they figured it out which one to waive or not. I think they're just willy nilly guessing. To be honest. I mean, because someone could have like 2 pages extra of evidence and one, and one has less. And it'd be interesting. I feel like, yeah, of course, if they have sufficient number of evidence, amounts of evidence to show what we call bona fide marriage, then that's great. But for the other folks, it'd be interesting upon reflection in a couple of years. All right, let's see. Hello, Patricia. What's going on? Thanks for the follow. Which, by the way, if you're just now joining, welcome. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in the United States, helping you solve an immigration problem or maybe prevent it from happening in the first place. You're welcome to ask a question in the chat box. I got about 6 minutes. All right. I'll be on live tomorrow, hopefully noon. Chances of, well, David asks, your EAD is about to expire. What should you do? I don't know what you mean. I mean, renew it as soon as possible if you can. Is there something else in your situation I need to know? Like, you're wondering if it's even worth it to renew? Is that what you really wonder? I need to know a little more context there. But otherwise, yeah, I would renew it. And maybe your scenario, if it's based on adjustment of status, you don't have to pay an extra fee for that. Let's see. What are the chances of 601 waiver for COVID vaccine with payment being granted? I don't know what you mean by payment being granted. Like you paid for what? The fee itself for the waiver? So this is interesting because I talked about this yesterday. I don't think you were the same person. Uh, but yeah, most likely you're most likely if you paid for the waiver fee, just paying for that waiver fee does not mean you're going to be approved for the waiver based on not taking the COVID vaccine. So just overall on the COVID, like, look, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I took the COVID vaccine. You shouldn't have to tell others whether you did or not, right? It's your own choice. It's your body. I get it. But with USCIS, with immigration laws, you have to take the vaccine. All right. And it's not just COVID, it's the other vaccines. So if people wonder, like, oh, I hear about people being denied because of crimes, blah, blah. Well, that's the criminal grounds of inadmissibility. And then people might wonder, well, why is the vaccine like a reason for someone to be denied if you don't take the vaccine? Because that's related to the health grounds inadmissibility. Of course, this hasn't really been brought up before until this whole COVID thing, the pandemic. So the difficulty is that you basically the way they phrase the instructions on the for the waiver related to vaccine is that whatever reason it is, it should be the same, essentially the same reason. If I'm paraphrasing for them, essentially the same reason that you did not take the other vaccines. So if your shot record shows you took all the other vaccines, then I can probably tell you you're likely going to get denied. That's just my 2 cents. But so if you already paid the fee, it's almost $1,000, I believe. Then just to give you some real time feedback, I guess you could say. I wish you the best. Anyone going through this situation. Shaber, okay, thank you, John. But can you tell me why they take so long to reply back? Well, I don't know. I can't tell you. They're inefficient. That could be why. A lot of people ask why. It doesn't really matter so much about why. It's more like just get your shit done. So you need to contact them. To be honest, like, and that's actually kind of related to the whole pandemic thing. I think a lot of us we just fell into this mode of like victimization. Like, I need to wait until the government tells me what to do thing, or tell me what to do with my kids at school or something. We got to take prepare an action plan and go forth. So similar with immigration, like you're asking me questions here, I'm happy to guide you, but use that information or chat with us one on one. Okay, in a strategy session, we don't charge for 15 minutes. There's no cost. I say that now. I've been saying that for like 2 years, but we might charge $5. I can't say it out loud. We might charge this amount, really to prevent no show. Some people, I get it. You might be busy, but you got to find a dedicated time so you show up, um, because that's our mission to help people live and work in America legally. So show up, or we won't schedule you again. So there you have it. So my point is, if we share an action plan with you, even if it's right here, like on YouTube or whatnot, or TikTok, all the social media, you gotta try it. Submit an inquiry if it shows up that you're allowed to. Um, but it doesn't matter why. It really doesn't matter. They're inefficient. You're talking about the U.S. government, number one super world power. You think they're efficient? Come on. I mean, come on. Really, at the end of the day, the U.S. government has subcontractors for literally everything, including the military. So think about it that way. They also have that for the ASC, Application Support Center, where you take your fingerprints. That's also subcontracted. So hopefully that helps give you some context on how the US government works in the snippet. All right. What do I think about SID status nowadays? I mean, from what I remember, they got step one. It's I don't know what you're trying to get me to say there, but or what you're really trying to ask. But yeah, there's a backlog because it's for petition step number one, and then you got the visa bulletin. You got to wait on EB4, I believe it is. And last time I saw, there's a backlog. I can say so much, but I'll just keep it short. Yeah, Rebecca, you say your husband got his 601A waiver approved today. Hallelujah! Give it up. All right, congratulations to you and your husband. How long does it usually take? How long did it typically take to get the interview? Well, so your next step is to make sure if you need to update those docs again with the ceac.state.gov portal. You need to make sure about the fee, the immigrant fee. I was mentioning the 445 for the two, include for two fees total, um, and then let them know. You need to let NVC know that that your the waiver was approved, because USCIS does not communicate with the National Visa Center. So please do not assume that they will communicate. They don't. Two different agencies. Okay. So and so that's another example. Like, I'm glad you asked how long does it take, but there's several mini steps to do before you get the interview. All right. So hopefully that helps. Yeah. How long were you waiting for your waiver, by the way? I think someone asked. Please share with the community when you have a moment. Oh, 3 years? Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, 3 years. So this is another example where we do take over cases, even if you did not have a lawyer before. I suspect maybe you did have a lawyer for a waiver. I'm not sure, but I'm glad you got glad approved. Yeah, but I just say general rule. Assuming you did all those little steps, then at least 6 months, regardless of country. May Ve- okay, May Vang, you're in Laos embassy. Your petition is in delay since December 2023. All right, May. So if you're talking about delay, do you mean that the petition was already approved and now you've uploaded all the documents and now you're waiting for the interview? At what stage of your case? Please share, okay, in the chat below. All right. Thanks for the follow. By the way, folks, I try to go live at 12 p.m. every time. Sometimes I come at night when everyone's asleep. And then, but follow, okay, follow for more. If you want to, especially if I don't answer, I'm not able to answer your question because shoot, I'm past 2 minutes on my interview. So I mean, not interview, a meeting. Okay. I'm trying to answer two real quick. Um, Shanzi Boss. Is a request to mail in medical a good sign? Hell yeah. It's a pretty good indication your interview will be waived. So hopefully that'll happen. Knock on wood for you. Nepali vegan. No, not from New York City. I'm from Texas. I do have a cowboy hat, by the way, but I did go to law school in New York, City University of New York, public interest school. Oops, my screen went off. I guess there's a Amani. I'm trying to get to your question. Okay, Amani. Amani, hello. What does 221G administrative processing mean? And to adjudicate visa, I hate those cases. Meaning, like, I really hate what U.S. Department of State is doing to a lot of people. It's very unfortunate. It's ridiculous. Like, they received everything they needed to for you or for your loved one, and then they put you in the stage, and you or your spouse already had the interview, and it may have only taken like 5 minutes, and then you're like, does that mean I'm gonna get my visa? And you get the like inkling, like, yeah, everything was fine. They didn't ask you any questions, whatnot. It's like this black hole, 221G or admin processing, visa refusal. It's like a black freaking hole, the swamp of cases, applicants. And it's basically like the government's cop out reason to just put you there in 221G land is they might not even ask you for any documents. So traditionally, 221G, they would ask you for certain documents, which you would think like, why not just email me beforehand, before the freaking interview? So it's a bunch of waste of time, but it's done on purpose, folks. It's not just inefficient, they're discriminatory. Okay. So that's why myself, our law firm, Team Law Group, and of several others in the United States, other attorneys. Not every immigration attorney handles these type of lawsuits. So it's kind of interesting. Like, I think some of us like follow each other, and so we have conversations about this, how to maybe team up and whatnot. Have a conversation, help each other, because ultimately we're going to help you. That's our goal, right? Help you get the visa here. And so yeah, a lot of people, I think so. I'm always happy to respond to like a motion to dismiss, whatnot, for especially these kind of cases, because judges, these federal district judges, need to know what the hell's going on, right? So I don't think they do, because not many people want to fight, but that's what we're here for. We're here to advocate for you. So some people have contacted us, messaged here and said you've been waiting 2 years on admin processing, 2 freaking years. So don't think that just because you had a great 5 minute interview and you get this 221G or visa refusal online on the ce.state.gov website, and you're like, well, shouldn't the government get in status or update in like next week, next month, 1 year later? No, most likely not. Some of you might get lucky in a sense, but especially folks in Middle Eastern countries, you gotta be on the lookout, because the US government is on the lookout for you for no reason. It's not just Middle Eastern countries, okay? Russian nationals, dare I say, okay? You got Iranians, y'all got to be on the lookout for your case. Don't be waiting and waiting. Um, Shaber, happy to help, okay? Happy to help. But now 8 years marriage, my goodness, congratulations to you. Have I been married that long? Of course I know. But yeah, your case, Shaber, you said your case at NVC since September. Ooh, then I hope. What was your other comment here? Shit, I'm late for my meeting. Okay, don't worry, it's not a client meeting; it's a group meeting. But still, I need to go to it soon. After I-130 is approved, can it go to NVC? If yes, then tell me how long it should take. You got it. So you got to contact um NVC. It sounds like, did you even get a case number? Answer that question for me. Then I feel a little more comfortable. Did you get a case number? Um, Sounds like you didn't receive it based on your other comment. All right, let me answer another. This is fun. I love answering questions. Thank you so much for your questions. Appreciate your trust. But follow my channel. Um, because I'm not going to be able to answer all these questions right now. I got to go to my meeting very, very soon. Ray, Michelle, we're located physically in Houston, Texas. You formerly from Dallas, but we got a physical office. You can find us. Okay, we're not a virtual law firm. We have team members that work remotely. Amani asked, can it be overturned? Yeah, certainly it can. Not everyone, but yeah, many people can get it overturned in that sense, visa refusal. Um, but that's what we fight the U.S. attorneys on. Is like their argument is like it says visa refusal, so it means adjudicated, meaning like it processed. But no, when the government asks for more documents, it's no longer refused. It's like in a temporary situation, aka a black freaking hole. All right. Nini asked on Instagram, "Hey, Momita's Bakery, yeah, schedule with us. DM us if you don't have our website. It should be in our profile. The link, I think. I haven't checked in a while. Um, our team's happy to chat with you. Really happy to chat with anyone. It's just more of a matter of like, um, the thing is, if y'all don't you had our cares team specialists pre-qualify you for the session at no cost, but we might charge this amount of money because some people no show. I get it. Some people got work and whatnot, but it just Bamba, I'll get to you. I'm getting back. I'm going to other people on other platforms. Don't worry. I'll get to you. But I'm not gonna be able to answer everyone. That's just the reality. Mini said you filed U visa 2018, got EAD. Nothing after that. Oh, so you mean you haven't received the EAD yet? Should you file mandamus? I would wait a year on that. So if you filed 2023, I don't know what month you filed that in, but contact us so we can give you like the accurate timing, whatnot. Okay, Nini, on Instagram. All right. Bamba. By the way, no one's entitled to an answer on the show. You're welcome to ask, but no one's entitled to answer. I get to whoever I can get to, and that's just the way it is. All right. So, but Bamba, I got it. Two RFE responses. Could you have RFE again? Yeah, you could if you didn't provide them what they wanted. But hopefully you don't have another RFE. And did you have? Oh, I see. I mean, sounds like they may have more or less sent you two RFEs around the same time, because one's for a different form, one's for 485, one's for R130. I mean, yeah, anything could happen in your case. I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you if you're gonna have another RFE, but it doesn't sound like it, since those two RFEs are for two different forms. Okay, so hopefully you don't. But you got one for medical, so you should be good to go. Um, if you get another RFE, I suspect it could be about the 864. Maybe if especially if you're doing your own, maybe it's like you didn't provide the proper payment information, tax information for the 864. I'm just speculating, but that gonna give you an idea. All right, folks, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for everyone's questions. I gotta run to a meeting, and I really appreciate it. We'll see you on. I'll need to figure out the screen thing tomorrow. I'm still learning also. All right, y'all have a wonderful evening. Take care. Follow for more. Peace.